Alright folks, that is right, there is a brand new battle simulator on the block. This is Voxel Battle Simulator and it will be coming out on the 29th of April. The developers of Voxel Battle Simulator were nice enough to reach out and give me a Steam key, so I will be doing a gameplay review in this video. If you look down below at the timestamps, there's going to be a campaign gameplay review, as well as an introduction to all the other features this game actually has. I then give some recommendations of improvements I'd like to see implemented into the game that could make it even better. And then last but not least, I'm going to give you my recommendation on whether or not this is a game that is worth picking up from the Steam store and adding to your Battle Simulator collection. But let's get stuck in. First things first, we're gonna dive straight into the campaign. So if I click on campaign right here, you will immediately see there's 15 missions in the first campaign, and there's actually quite a lot of campaigns, and each one of these different settings has a lot of maps on them. So it's definitely gonna take you quite a lot of time to actually get through this game, and it is actually quite challenging. But first things first, we're gonna jump onto the farm campaign, and these first 6 missions are kind of like, I don't know, trial missions, if you will. So we're gonna jump straight into mission 6. Now, as we load in right here, you can immediately see the deployment phase. You can see that this is the red team. It's a red versus blue kind of polygon battle simulator, which I already like the look of. Now, you can see in the top left corner, we got $1,500 to deal with. This is mission 6 of 15, and you can see we have a list of different units that we can put down, each costing a different amount of money. And as we progress through the campaign, we can slowly but surely upgrade each of these units to be even more effective, and we can also obviously unlock these other units. I'm gonna try and beeline for the tank, although I will say I was playing in the Sandbox game mode, and the Scot missile is pretty overpowered and absolutely hilarious, so I want to get that as well. Alright, now here is the strategy that I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna get artillery all the way down the back, all the way along here, and quite a bit more than they've got. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my transports and my troop carriers, and the reason I'm doing that is because I've got a lot more artillery. Hopefully it's gonna allow my guys more time to shoot and damage the enemy before they even get into the battle. You see, I told you I could go big brain. You didn't believe me, but I can. I'm gonna put one infantryman right out in the front, because then otherwise their artillery is just gonna bombard all of these guys straight away. We're just gonna let him die to the bombardment of enemy shells. And we've used all of our money there. I'm quite happy with it. Let's just see how this goes. Okay, so automatically you can see, in fact, let's just click on these boys down here. I want to see how they do. I want to see, are they gonna get glacked? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna unfollow them. Okay, up in the top corner, you can see how many units we've taken down. You can see how many units are actually left right here as well. I can move around. You can see my artillery going in. You can hover over the infantry. And last but not least, we have the artillery. But look, if you look at the top corner up here, I've got 5 pieces of artillery. They've got 1 piece of artillery. And there we go. Great job, soldier. They're running away like rats. We got it done. I also love the way this guy looks right here. I might get him in the thumbnail. We'll find out soon. But yeah, so that was obviously the first mission right there. So we can go on to upgrades. I have 1 point to spend on my upgrades. But before we do that, you can actually see the battle duration, 36 seconds. They had a lot more units to begin with. We had 5 survivors. We did more damage, and our most effective unit obviously was the artillery, because it just managed to do a ton of damage from the back. Can we actually unlock any of these further units? Okay, so actually it looks like, so maybe we can't actually unlock these bigger units unless we actually progress with the campaign. But regardless, our MVP right there was obviously the artillery. There's not really much point in putting down health and armor for the artillery. Let's be honest. Let's just go for the damage right there. We put our 1 point into damage, so that feels like a smart investment right there. And then we just go straight on to the next mission. And this time they've got so many units. We've got 3 artillery, bunch of infantry down the back here, and then again some of these armored cars. All right, and here's the strategy that I've gone for. Is I've got these 2 infantry out the front here, again cannon fodder, and then you'll see I've got staggered infantrymen and transporters here, which are hopefully going to come in from the side and hold up the entire enemy in this location here. And then that will allow my 6 artillery pieces with increased damage after that upgrade to just absolutely abuse these guys out in the middle. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. Maybe I'm not. We're about to find out. Oh my god. The artillery just absolutely wrecked those guys in the middle. But there you go. You can see my artillery coming in. We got our transporters here, which, by the way, do actually carry troops with them. Oh my god. Are all my guys dead? Okay, my guys aren't all dead, but they're not doing too well. And again, you can see these little infantrymen. They do actually have grenades. Now, okay, this is going to get close. Come on, my artillery. Okay, no, we're good, actually, because now you see I've got 6 artillery pieces against their 3 artillery pieces. And there you go. Job done. Back to the net. We have won another one. Now, one thing I'll say about this is there's no difficulty setting, and it does actually appear to get quite difficult. So at some point, you've actually got to apply your brain to actually manage to complete this. And there we go. Again, look at this. Our west unit was by far the artillery piece. The infantry with grenades seem to actually be really, really good at taking out armored vehicles. Come over to the artillery piece and just sink another damage into the artillery piece. We're just going to go with that as a strategy for now, and let's move on to the next mission. Now, okay, interestingly, this time we've got 2,200 points, and the enemy doesn't have any artillery, but they've got a lot of armored cars and a lot of transporters. So maybe I actually go quite heavy on the infantry, because the infantry is not going to get taken out by artillery. Alright, this time you can kind of see what I've gone for is because I'm not concerned about the artillery getting one hit really by other artillery, and then I've got a couple of these armored carriers, or sorry, troop transports rather, but then I've just got a load of infantry. I'm just hoping that this infantry will be quite a hard counter against all of their vehicles. Once again, let's see if my strategy works out. Okay, my artillery didn't actually get any opening kills right there, which is a bit concerning. Oh, but it looks like, okay, it looks like grenades are going in. Okay, this is what I want to hit here. If I can get my artillery pieces to hit here and take these guys, oh my god, they're not dying. They're not dying. That's quite concerning. Come on, artillery, please. Oh, there we go. That's more like it. Okay, that's more like it. It did a lot of damage in here. It looks like we've won this side down here. We've got all of our artillery still and 3 of these lads here. I think we've got this. And oh, the team kills are not ideal. Let's see. Come on. Can this guy do it? Come on. Don't get... There we go. A little bit of friendly fire, but we'll just gloss over that. Let's just pretend we didn't see it. And once again, of course, our best unit right here is the artillery piece. But I'm also thinking we might be worth investing some more of our points into going into this transporter. Seeing as it's already got +5 damage, +1 health, why not put on +1 armor as well? And then we'll try and get this quite beefy as well as the artillery. And let's go to the next mission. Okay, they now have 5 artillery pieces. And, oh, and quite a lot of infantry out front. So this one's going to be a little bit more difficult. Now, the idea behind this is that I'm hoping all of these units here will all begin to converge into one position where my artillery, which I still have 1 more piece and they are upgraded, will hopefully then be able to leverage its advantage and kill as many of these guys in AoE as possible. But I'm not really sure about this one. Let's see how this goes. I'm not too sure about this strategy. Again, oh, actually, maybe I should have brought more of my guys just over one side. Okay, actually, no, it looks like my artillery is actually doing really well here. Come on. I want to see these guys get deleted. I want to see all these trucks. No, they're absolutely wrecking us this time, actually, so far. Come on, I need a lot of... Ooh! Ooh! Oh my god, it looks like we're down to literally 6 artilleries versus, no, it was 6 artilleries versus 5 artilleries, but they just wiped out one of mine. Come on, no, they're spread out better than mine. It's now 4 versus 3. Am I gonna lose this on the artilleries? It's 4 versus 3. Concentrate fire, man. How are they not concentrating fire? Bro, we've lost that. Pull yourself together, soldier. Alright, seeing as our transporter is quite heavily upgraded and they've got a lot of artillery, I'm gonna try the opposing strategy here. I'm gonna ditch the artillery. We're going for spread out guys. I'm hoping that all of these artilleries, by the way, are gonna shoot this guy out the front, and hopefully it'll team kill all of their guys down here, which would be absolutely delicious. I'm sure you agree. But then I've also kind of just staggered a bunch of my transporters and infantry down the back. I'm not too sure about this strategy. Oh, the team kill strat worked perfect, though. What an absolute dream. Come on, boys. You can hold it together. Hold the front line. Hold the front line. How's it looking? How's it looking? Oh, the thing is, I would love to get... Oh, my God. I don't even have any artillery, but it looks like we've absolutely wiped those guys out. Can we? Have we got enough to... Yeah, surely. Surely. Okay, the artillery is taking quite a few of us down right here, but surely they don't have enough. Surely they've not got enough. Oh my god, could you imagine if the artillery somehow survives this? Oh my god, come on, boys. Please. You cannot die to the... Oh, no, there we go. No, we're getting them done. Come on, boys. Hop in there. Get the kills. Last unit left. 1 artillery clue left. You can see that the health bar... Well, actually, you might not be able to because I was covering, but we managed to get it. There we go. We had to mix up the strategy there. We got the job done. And, guys, remember, there's like 6 campaigns with 15 missions in each, and it's already getting a little bit more difficult. A bright future lies ahead of the Blue Army as long as you're on the duty, soldiers. Yes, sir. But that's where I'm going to leave it for this campaign because, like I said at the start of this gameplay review, I wanted to show you the campaign, all the other features as well, and obviously we can't actually see the rest of these units here. And if I want to show you the complete Voxel Battle Simulator experience, I want to take you into the Sandbox game mode and show you what you can do with these other units, and in particular the Scud missile, because it's absolutely insane insane. But yeah, real quick just there, as you can see once again, you can see here, you can see the progression. There was 15 missions in there. But yeah, that's one of 6 campaigns, and the campaigns get harder and harder, and the setting and the scenery in each campaign actually gets different as well, which is interesting. Now, I want to take you into the Sandbox game mode and show you what you can do here. So you can see if we click world, you can see that we can select city, we can select desert, we can select province, resort, and also factory. Now, within each of these ones, you can see map 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to, I think, 15 maps on every single different type. So you're definitely not going to be limited on the different kind of maps that you can use here. There's loads of different ones, and it's really easy to see which ones you're playing on, which is actually quite an advantage. You can again just select how much money, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 down here. So to show you the Sandbox game mode, what I want to do is I want to use this world, this factory world, because we didn't do that in the campaign. And also map 15 looks quite interesting. We'll put down 5,000 points for each team, and we will click play, and you will see straight away what the rest of these units are. So we have infantry, artillery, armored car, transporter. Those are the ones we had in that campaign. Now remember, there's 6 campaigns and there were 6 locked units. So I presume that when you finish campaign 1, you get the bazooka. When you finish campaign 2, you get a tank. When you finish campaign 3, you get an anti-air, then a helicopter, then an officer, and then at 1,500, you get a Scud missile. Now, considering the next most expensive thing is the officer, or the helicopter rather, at 220, you can see why I'm suggesting that the Scud missile is quite strong. I'm gonna stick down 4 Scud missiles. In fact, I can't even afford 4 Scud missiles. I'll stick down 2 Scud missiles to change over to the other team. Behind me right here, I will shuffle. You can see there is next team right there, and it changes you onto the red team. You can now see that these are all red, and the blue team area is all colored out. And seeing as we didn't get to see any tanks in the last battle, I will put down, how many tanks is that? That's what, like 16 tanks? No, my apologies, that is 20 tanks. So we're gonna put down 20 tanks. In fact, actually, why not? Let's put down 24 tanks, and let's find out if these Scud missiles can take down 24 tanks. So let's just watch these guys right here, and they're kind of just driving along nice and chill. They have split up a bit, so maybe they won't. Oh, here come the Scud missiles. Oh my god. That was only one of the Scud missiles. I don't know where the other one is. Okay, they both shot. Maybe. Look at this massive crater. They deleted everything over there, but these guys managed to get away. Now, do they actually reload? I'm interested. Do they reload in time? Well, definitely, it doesn't look like they're going to reload in time for these tanks. No, they're not going to reload in time. Okay, but I want to retry that because I really, really want to see if these Scud missiles can delete everything. Okay, let's just see as they're shooting. So it takes them a while to get their rocket up. And let's just see these guys over here. In fact, let's just look from top down. Let's look from top down. Oh! That's what I mean. If you land a Scud missile, it is just absolutely absurd how much damage it does. So if you're playing this against anyone else or whatever, never, ever, ever clump your units like that. Especially if they're expensive units, because they are just going to get removed by a Scud missile. Alright, so what you can see here is I've put down some sort of little assault force for the red team. They've got some tanks, they've got some anti-air, they've got some officers and some patrol cars. And then on the blue team, we've got some helicopters, we've got some anti-air, we've also got some bazookas right here, some officers and some artillery. But this is why I put down these other units, because I want to actually show you what all these other units actually do. We're going to click battle here, and straight away we're going to see the Scud missile going up. They're just, oh, hold on a second. What are those planes? Where do those... Oh, is that what the officer does? Maybe that's what the officer does. Maybe the officer... Okay, let's just quickly see. The Scud missile was actually killed. The Scud missile was killed by planes. I think that the officers call in, and you see the helicopter went down there to the anti-aircraft guns. We got a couple more bazookas coming in. Oh, man, this is actually... Okay, so we got some artillery. Do these guys respawn any helicopters, or is that it? Is that like a one-time use? Okay, there we go. The red team still won that, but that was interesting. So you see these planes that fly over. I think that's what the officers do. I think they call in planes. They call in some sort of an airstrike, which I didn't actually realize was a feature until I did it right there. Another lost medic. Our units are in critical state. They're not in critical state, mate. They're dead. But yeah, so that's like an introduction to the Sandbox, all the different units. We've obviously done the campaign, we've done the Sandbox, but what I promised you at the start of the video, seeing as this is a Voxel Simulator gameplay review, I wanted to briefly go through some of the things that I think could actually improve the game, some little changes that I'd like them to implement. Obviously, this is early access. It's not even full released yet, and I presume they're going to be making some small changes changes to the game, and there's some very small things, some small quality of life things that I think would make this an even better game. But so far, I'm actually having quite a lot of fun playing this. So improvement number one I'd like to see implemented into the game would be some sort of a camera freedom feature, whereas at the minute you can't actually move around using WASD. It locates you right here. You can use this to skip through the units, or you can click onto individual units and then unfollow, and you can obviously get the top view down as well, which is also quite cool with this like stats up the top. But you can't actually move around. I'd like to be able to zoom in and move around the battlefield. I think that would just make it a little bit more immersive, and it kind of feels a little bit restrained, which is again hopefully quite a small change that you can implement. But I love the aesthetic of it. I just think if I was able to move around the battlefield a little bit more freely, it would be quite interesting to see what impact that actually has on the gameplay. One more small thing that I think would be quite easy to implement into the Sandbox game mode, or even just the campaign, would be when you're placing units down like this, it's always really fun to kind of make these cool looking formations. I would like to be able to rotate the units so you could put them in different angles, because I noticed that in the campaign the opposition units were actually kind of rotated a little bit, which looked quite cool. They got some cool looking formations that were driving down these roads. For example, at the minute, if I place this guy here, I can't get him to drive along the road. I would like to be able to have him driving along the road so I could set up some sort of ambush. So that's the second improvement I think they could make. Now for the third improvement, I think they could quite easily implement, you can see we have a deploy and a delete phase. Now we have to click delete to actually go delete these units. What I think would be quite cool to see is when you're deploying units in this deploy phase, I think you could just get rid of this deploy delete phase. What you could do is left click to deploy, and hopefully right click, which I'm doing at the minute. Right click would be to delete that unit rather than having to come down here and then manually delete it. Again, it's a really small change. It's nothing that's actually too dramatic or problematic at all. It's just a little quality of life change that I think would make this a little bit more fluid. Now the fourth change I'd like to see implemented is really not a significant one at all. If we look at the units right here, we can see the colors look a little bit washed out ever so slightly. Increasing the saturation would help lift it off of the screen a little bit and just look a little bit more vibrant and lively. Again, not a significant problem at all, just a little thing that I think would just make it a little bit more visually aesthetically pleasing. Now the fifth change I think they could implement is that you see, to begin with, they have these 4 different units right here, and then each campaign you unlock one more unit. It's definitely a good collection of units so far, but I think in the future it would be cool to see some more units or some sort of slight level of customization. I must admit, I really like in the campaign how you can manually increase the statistics of each individual unit by increasing its health, armor, or its damage. That's really cool. But what would be absolutely awesome to see is when you got to like a certain threshold with each one of these units, whether or not it visually changes ever so slightly. Maybe you could see some more armor on it. Maybe it has like a second gun or something. Some sort of visual change to represent that it's leveled up would be really, really quite rewarding. And if not that, then some additional units. And then last but at no means least, the last change I think would be quite cool to see, and the sixth change to implement, would be some sort of a one-off ability. Again, we have all of these units here which are great in the campaign, but whether or not there's some sort of like you could store up your points and then in your campaign, rather than researching and unlocking one unit, is there some sort of a kill streak that would be a one-off? So if you're struggling on one particular battle, could you place down some sort of like an artillery barrage or an airstrike or reinforcements, or like you get increased armor for one battle? Anything like that for one battle would be quite cool to see. And then obviously that impacts the campaign in the long run, because you're not actually investing those points in upgrading the units for every battle. It's just a one-off. So maybe you get past that mission and then the rest of the battles are harder as a result. Again, not a significant change, just something to think about. But yeah, I really want to reiterate, obviously I've just suggested 6 different changes that I think would be really cool to see. Again, this game's early access. Voxel Battle Simulator is not even out yet. It'll be out on the 29th of April. This game is a lot of fun. I really, really do enjoy it, and I think it actually has a bright future. If the developers listen to the community, they make some small changes, I think this game actually has some serious upside potential. And just to wrap this video up, I want to give you my Voxel Battle Simulator gameplay review. In conclusion, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun playing this. I like how it's quite difficult and you've actually got to test out different strategies, and I like how there's a big variety of maps, 6 different scenes and 6 long campaigns. I feel like you'd get quite a lot of good game time out of it, and I would definitely recommend, if you like these kind of polygon battle simulators, I would definitely recommend picking this game up. And that's not because I was giving a free Steam key. I'm doing an honest review here, and I actually think this game was quite a lot of fun. And I think if they implement the changes we just talked about in the change section, I think this game actually has a lot of potential to be another really big battle simulator game that I'm sure we'll see much more frequently on YouTube. But my only one concern with this game is that because we have quite a limited selection of units here, once you finish those campaigns, because there's a bit of a limited amount of units right here and the limited customization, particularly in Sandbox game mode, I feel like once you've completed all that stuff, it could get a little bit less interesting in future, which is why I think it's so important for them to listen to the community, implement those changes, and if they do, this game could be endlessly fun. But yeah, in summary, definitely pick this game up if you like these type of games. A big shout out once again to Rookies from Poland for giving me the Voxel Battle Simulator Steam key to test this game out. I'm excited to see where this game goes, and if you are too, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, like and comment. Please do let me know what you think of this game, and if you want to see it more often on the channel, if you want to see me complete a whole campaign, or if you want to see me live stream it, do let me know down below and make your voice heard by liking and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you again in the next one.